So guys, that about rounds us up. I know I'm run over. I know I talk a lot. I apologize for that. But I'd like to directly move out to some of the questions and see if we can get some of these answered. We're going to stick with you till we get the questions done, okay? So for those of you that want to hang on. Carl, how can we easily process returns when receiving 2 units of something but only returning 1 of the 2? Carl, that's going to be right out here, and I think we've all gone ahead and seen that, but it's really just a matter of when you receive the item, okay, that's this little feature right here. I received 2, I want to return 1. Carl, I hope that answers your question. So what happens to the other 5 in the return bin? Well, they're going to, Linda is asking, I did a split on the transmission fluid. The other 5 items are going to stay there because they're still in my possession. You know, in the real world, guys, just think, follow the physical activity. If you have 10 you want to return, you're only returning 5, do a split. 5 of them stay at the shop, 5 of them go back with the driver for credit. Linda, I hope that answers your question. The next question is by Robert. Would like an option to move back to work order. We've had that, and it's been through the feature request list. I do not exactly remember what the answer on that was, but it is a great idea, and I'm assuming that that feature is on the development list. Robert, if not, I'd encourage you to send that in to your support department. If you're a Protractor user, that's Protractor support. If you're a Mitchell user, that'll be Mitchell support. And send that in as a feature request. All development usually follows our customers' requests, okay? Robert has one. I'm just saying, as Doug said, accidents happen. Don't really know what that is, but okay, Robert asked another question. There are a number of scenarios where this would be necessary. So I guess Robert's agreeing with us there. Robert, another question. Customer needs to take their car, cause all parts didn't come in, and bring it back the next week. They've already authorized. Can you put the return item back onto the work order? Not currently. Again, that's a feature that we're looking for. And again, this is Brandon. Brandon, please send that in as a feature request. I would like the ability to move items from the return bin to a work order. Currently, guys, the way you have to do it is you'll have to move it into inventory and then apply it from inventory back to the work order. So right now, there's one more step involved. Move it into inventory, then put it back on the customer's work order. Bill's asking a question. I would like to have the ability to add a note on adjusting or deleting a lost item. This would be forced back to track things better. Great idea, Bill. So Bill's saying when he deletes, yeah, I mean, why not put it on everything? A delete, an adjust, and a found item to put some notes on there. Bill, I think you know the process. Let's get that in as a feature request because that also is a great idea. Brandon asked, what is the best way to adjust that 1 cent difference? So, Brandon, you do have the ability to do the adjustments on it. Okay, that's going to come from the return item credit slip down here. Okay, and here's your adjustment. Okay, so this is where you would make either a positive or a negative adjustment. Okay, Kathleen is asking how to return shop supplies. Right now, the only way to do that is to create a GL entry. Well, Kathleen, that depends on how you bought the shop supplies. If you've bought the shop supplies and put them into inventory, then it's simply to return an inventory item. If you've bought the shop supplies and entered them as an expense, then the only way you're going to be able to do that is process an adjustment at the payable account or through a GL adjustment. Again, if you guys have other ideas on that, send them in as feature requests. Darlene is asking, my guys on one occasion make an error entering a part number or none at all. Is there a way to correct the part number? On the returns, do not believe you have the ability to make edits to that. Let me just take a look. If I take a single item and select edit, okay, I do not have the ability to do that here. So unfortunately, the guys need to slow down on their entries. I always encourage using your supplier connections, which takes the human element out of entering the part numbers and the descriptions. Your online supplier connections, when you purchase parts, will automatically draw that from the supplier. On the other hand, you do have the ability to correct part numbers back on the supplier invoices. Okay, you don't have anything in here, so let me just do a save on that, and that'll get that one out of the way. I'll see if there's anything on this one. Okay, so we do have the ability to make some corrections, which is where you could make the correction here, but unfortunately not on the return items. Darlene, the only suggestion I would give to you, if it's that important, take the item in the return bin. Okay, take the item in the return bin here and delete it, and then add it in as a found item with the part number. What this does, just make sure that when you do that, you post the deleted account, the deleted item, and the found item to the same account, and they're going to wash back to a zero net value. So you do have that capability. Delete the item without the part number, and then just go right back in and add it with the part number as a found item. Just make sure you post those adjustments to the same account, which will produce a net zero. Okay, Kathleen, 2 items have the same price. However, one needs to be returned. Obviously, you'll want to return the high. It's not necessarily true. It's going to be the part number. So if you're saying the same item has the same part number, that's between you and your supplier. So again, you would have to use the adjustment screen if that's the route you're going to go. So adjustments, adjustments, adjustments if there's pricing differences. And then Tracy on the bottom, why is it that cores do not show up until the invoice is posted? Tracy, the reason we don't push the cores back until the invoice is posted, in our mind, is pretty simple. Okay, so on this item, if it did carry a core value in here, okay, let's just say the core was, I'm just going to throw a $10 deal in here, okay? So essentially the reason I'm not going to push that back to the cores right now is because somebody could come in here and change that. So I'm not going to do 10, 15 changes in accounting until somebody's ready to commit.
Not returned.
Alan, do you have something to say?
Yes, sir. You can also change the core status at any time before it's posted. That's why.
Well, it's any changes to the core itself, okay? As long as we give you the tools to make a change to either the value, the status, I'm not going to push that in the accounting to the return bin, because then I'm going to have, a 5-page audit trail on that one core that got changed 3 or 4 times. So, and I seriously doubt that that's going to change, Tracy, but if you have an idea, if you have a process that you think will help us improve, again, I strongly encourage you guys to send that stuff in as a feature request. And then Kathleen's clarifying a previous question. Oh, not the same price, but the same part number. So that's up to you. If you've got a part in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you paid $10 for, and you got another part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you paid $12 for, it's really whichever one you're going to return, and the pricing that's associated with that. If you return the $12 core and they give you a $10 credit, you got a problem, right? So you need to keep those things in mind. But the adjustment, the answer to the question is the adjustment, okay? Guys, I'm not seeing any more questions come in. I'm 4 minutes over. Thank you for sticking in with me. If we have more questions later, who do we contact? Your support department, Brandon, or your distributor, whoever sold you the software. Again, your support department should all be in your database as a contact, and those will be the questions that will be there for your day-to-day questions, okay? Guys, listen, thanks so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your patience with letting me run over a little bit. Normally we don't do that. But I just want to thank you all for sitting in with us. Appreciate your comments. Please fill out a little survey. You know, it's always nice to know how we're doing. We'd always like to hear from you. Comments, suggestions. Help you guys will help us improve the software. You will help us improve these webinars through your comments. I wish you all a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Let me just bring that slide up on the 27th. So stay tuned. Thanks and have a great day, everybody. Appreciate it.